Thank you, Madam President. As I have the honor of standing up today to celebrate women of distinction from across our state, I can't help but think that all of us are here because at some point in our history, a brave woman stood up. I've talked often about Susan B. Anthony, who stood up for the women's voting rights. Her trial and her subsequent conviction for voting illegally as a woman took place in the Ontario County Courthouse within my district. Also in my district, Elizabeth Blackwell was the first woman in America to receive a medical degree. It was at Geneva Medical College, the precursor to Hobart and William Smith Colleges, where there is now a beautiful bronze statue of Dr. Blackwell. When I was reading about Dr. Blackwell, some of the historians had written that Elizabeth Blackwell's acceptance letter was intended as a joke. But guess who had the last laugh? Dr. Blackwell. She became a pioneer in preventive medicine and forged the path for women in medicine. Also in my district, a little bit down the road from the Ontario County Courthouse, in Dansville, Livingston County, Clara Barton founded the American Red Cross. During the Civil War, Clara was one of the first volunteers to care for wounded soldiers. She earned the nickname Angel of the Battlefield for risking her life to deliver supplies and support to soldiers on the field. My honoree this year is Karen DeWar, and she names Clara Barton one of her inspirations. Karen is the Director of Emergency Medical Services for Livingston County. She said her longtime career as both an RN and an EMT was also inspired by her mother, who was one of the first female EMTs in the Geneseo Fire Department. As I mention these first, I think we should all recognize that we don't have to look into the history books for examples of women breaking ground or shattering those glass ceilings. Sometimes we just need to look right around us. At a press conference I held last Friday, I stood with two women who recently made history in my district. Christine Callanan, the first woman elected district attorney in Wayne County, and Ashley Williams, the first woman elected district attorney in Livingston County. And as cool as it is to make history, these women, past and present, I've mentioned today, they didn't seek to make history. They sought to make a difference. And I think the same is true for this year's Women of Distinction. We celebrate them, and we celebrate all women making a difference in our communities, inspiring all of us and the next generation of female leaders in our state. Excelsior, ever upward, New York's motto and the spirit that's embodied by each of this year's honoree. So in closing, Madam President, we are all here, women especially, but men too, because throughout our history, and indeed every single day, women are standing up. And guess what? We have no plans to sit down. Yeah. On behalf of our Republican conference, thank you and congratulations to all of our Women of Distinction honorees. Madam President, I proudly support this resolution.